Water deer, from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. The water deer is a small deer superficially more similar to a musk deer than a true deer. Native to China and Korea, there are two subspecies, the Chinese water deer and the Korean water deer. Despite its lack of antlers and certain other anatomical anomalies, including a pair of prominent tusks, downward pointing canine teeth, it is classified as a cervid. Its unique anatomical characteristics have caused it to be classified in its own genus as well as its own subfamily. However, studies of mitochondrial control region and cytochrome B DNA sequences have placed it near Capreolus within an Old World section of the subfamily Caprionola. Its prominent tusks, similar to those of a musk deer, have led to both being colloquially named vampire deer in English-speaking areas to which they have been imported. The species is listed as vulnerable by the IUCN. Contents: entomology, habitat and distribution, morphology, behavior, reproduction. Entomology. The genus name Hydropodes derives from the two ancient Greek words hudor, meaning water, and podes, meaning the fact of drinking, and refers to the preference of this cervid for rivers and swamps. The etymology of the species name corresponds to the Latin word inermis, meaning unarmed, defenseless, itself constructed from the prefix in, meaning without, and the stem arma, meaning defensive arms, armor, and refers to the fact that the water deer is antlerless. Habitat and distribution. Water deer are indigenous to the lower regions of the Yangtze River, coastal Jiangsu Province, Yangcheng coastal wetlands, and islands of Zhejiang of east-central China, and in Korea, where the demilitarized zone has provided a protected habitat for a large number. In China, water deer are found in Zhejiang, Jiangsu, Hubei, Henan, Anhui, Guangdong, Fujian, Jiangxi, Shanghai, and Guangxi. They are now extinct in the southern and western parts of China. In Korea, water deer are found nationwide. Water deer inhabit the land alongside rivers, where they are protected from sight by the tall reeds and rushes. They are also seen on mountains, swamps, grasslands, and even open cultivated fields. Water deer are proficient swimmers and can swim several miles to reach remote river islands. Chinese water deer are now located in the United Kingdom, France, and Argentina, and even some in the United States. Morphology. The water deer has a narrow pectoral and pelvic girdles, long legs, and a long neck. The powerful hind legs are longer than the front legs, so that the haunches are carried higher than the shoulders. They run with rabbit-like jumps. In the groin of each leg is an inguinal gland used for scent marking. This deer is the only member of the Cervidae to possess such glands. The short tail is no more than 5 to 10 centimeters in length and is almost invisible, except when it is held and raised by a male during the rut. The ears are short and very rounded, and both sexes lack antlers. The coat is an overall golden brown color and may be interspersed with black hairs, while the undersides are white. The strongly tapered face is reddish brown and gray in color, and the chin and upper throat are cream colored. The hair is longest on the flanks and rump. In the fall, the summer coat is gradually replaced by a thicker, coarse-haired winter coat that varies from light brown to grayish brown. Neither the head nor the tail poles are well differentiated as in gregarious deer. Consequently, this deer's coat is little differentiated. Young are born dark brown with white stripes along their torso. Male body length averages 75 to 100 centimeters. Teeth. The water deer have developed long canine teeth which protrude from the upper jaw like the canines of a musk deer. The canines are fairly large in the bucks, ranging in length from 5.5 centimeters on average to as long as 8 centimeters. Does, in comparison, have tiny canines that are on average 0.5 centimeters in length. Behavior. Apart from mating during the rutting season, water deer are solitary animals, and males are highly territorial. Each buck marks out his territory with urine and feces. Sometimes a small pit is dug, and it is possible that in digging, the male releases scent from the interdigital glands on its feet. The male also scent marks by holding a thin tree in his mouth behind the upper canines and rubbing his preorbital glands against it. Males may also bite off vegetation to delineate territorial boundaries. Water deer use their tusks for territorial fights and are not related to carnivores. Confrontations between males begin with the animals walking slowly and stiffly toward one another, before turning to walk in parallel 10 to 20 meters apart to assess one another. At this point, one male may succeed in chasing off his rival, making clicking noises during the pursuit. However, if the conflict is not resolved in the early stage, the bucks will fight. Each will try to wound the other on the head, shoulders, or back by stabbing or tearing with his upper canines. The fight is ended by the loser, who either lays his head and neck flat on the ground or turns tail and is chased out of the territory. Numerous long scars and torn ears seen on males indicate that fighting is frequent. The fights are seldom fatal but may leave the loser considerably debilitated. Tufts of hair are most commonly found on the ground in November and December, showing that encounters are heavily concentrated around the rut. Communication. Water deer are capable of emitting a number of sounds. The main call is a bark, and this is more of a growl tone when compared with the sharper yap of a muntjac. This bark is used as an alarm, and water deer will bark repeatedly at people and at each other for reasons unknown. If challenged during the rut, a buck will emit a clicking sound. It is uncertain how this unique sound is generated, although it is possibly by using its molar teeth. During the rut, a buck following a doe will make a weak whistle or squeak. This does emit a soft peeping to call their fawns, whilst an injured deer will emit a screaming wail. Reproduction. During the annual run in November and December, the male will seek out and follow females, giving soft squeaking calls and checking for signs of estrus by lowering his neck and rotating his head with ears flapping. Scent plays an important role in courtship, with both animals sniffing each other. Mating among water deer is polygamous, with most females being mated inside the buck's own territory. After repeated mountings, copulation is brief. Water deer have been known to produce up to 7 young, but 2 to 3 is normal for the species, the most prolific of all deer. The doe often gives birth to her spotted young in the open, but they are quickly taken to concealing vegetation, where they will remain most of the time for up to a month. During these first few weeks, fawns come out to play,